this one I did a short on, comparing the sketch to the original, to the final artwork, beg your pardon. This was inspired by JJ Ellis Art, I think he's called, on Instagram. Follows Beg for Cred, but I found him before Beg for Cred. Before Beg for Cred, funny, huh? Anyway, yeah. Wanted to do something with oil pastels because I was doing a lot of collage. And then, so I did that. They inspired by the image. This was with masking tape. These 2 bits were masking taped. I don't think that last bit was. 3 bits, maybe. And then I went in with the broken compass and scratched in that nice detailed spiderwebby texture. Contrasts, but is also very well seen against this. Little big dramatic streaks. Also did this morning. This is inspired by, I think this is more of a sketch than a final piece, but you know, it's a poster for One Man, Two Governors, my favourite play, which I saw back in lockdown, National Theatre Live. And it was based on the Italian, like, 1700s play, Servant of Two Masters. So I thought, well, I'll go on Google Translate and go Servant of Two Masters, and that was it. Not even going to try pronouncing it because I won't get it. And then I also used Google Translate to do from the National Theatre or something, and then underneath, based on the 1746 play by Carlo Goldoni. So this was supposed to be a guy in the middle, sort of looking both ways, looking alarmed, because his 2 masters are looking for him. Red, dramatic, James Bond kind of thing. You got this hat here, and I was too impatient to wait for another piece of hat, so I drew a hat. The poster can be viewed from either way, and that's why this writing is up like that. Found some really nice paper. Don't know if you can, this sort of texture here, canvasy. This was a National Geographic vintage advert, so I just glued that in, stuck it out, whatever. Big tears of paper, dramatic strokes. That was done on the same day as the last Beg for Cred portrait that you saw. Not the one which looks like this, the other one. But this was the other one I did this morning. Sharpie again, really enjoyed it. Charcoal at the bottom here and some really dark graphite. Lead pencil, maybe not lead. But when I figured out that the Sharpie wouldn't bleed, I just went in with some like really bright, vibrant watercolours. Yeah, I think that really works. I love that. Yeah. I didn't even bother because my Sharpie was running out. Didn't even bother trying to do the, like, bleed the rest of the face, the hair, because it wasn't going to make it, so, yeah. And someone told me earlier when I was showing them to people that this one looked like a man. It was quite cold, stare, glaring, menacing, whereas this one looked like a woman who was fed up, depressed, sad, something like that. This one I don't think really worked. I originally did the middle and just these shapes inspired by Beg for Cred, but I thought, well, I want to use more than the middle, so I did this at the bottom and I haven't done anything else at the top. They were very deliberately supposed to be different, inspired by 2 images on Beg for Cred's Instagram. This was the first. I sort of followed what he was doing on his first live stream, which I watched, and he was doing this kind of thing, so I sort of thought, well, I'll do some of that. You got pen and watercolour in there, and then water bleeding with the pen. Very nice. This one I don't think really worked, but it's Icarus Flew Too Close to the Sun. another ancient work retold. Another example of how a cutout image can work for just, these were two images in the same magazine, and for some reason I cut out this bit and then this bit was showing through, so I just glued it in, as you can see. Mermaid, classical work retold. Shadow, I heard is really nice, and I love this bit. This bit, what even is that? I don't know. It's cool. Very graphical. I uploaded it without the mermaid bit, so I'll have to change that. This was done on actually that one was done on a video. I think both of the last two were done on a YouTube video I uploaded, which you can go and watch. But this one was also Scrabble piece, UFO type thing. Just experimenting with graphics, basically. Did digital graphical design, but IRL. Ode to Kandinsky, because someone told me it looked like a Kandinsky. Just having fun with sort of multiple compositions in one piece. Really like that. Self-portrait. This is sort of what I'd imagine one of my exhibit posters would look like when I get an exhibit, which I don't know if I will, but I will. Hope so. I really like it. All I added was these really finely cut out bits of card stock. This is the same sort of image, slightly different, which I haven't used yet. And once I did Ode to Kandinsky, I did Ode to Rothko. I named that of my own accord, I think. Yeah. No, someone else actually told me it looked like a Rothko. I called that one Ode to Kandinsky myself, and then they said this looked like a Rothko, so I went, oh, Ode to Rothko. Tissue paper on... oh, broken. Worthless now. On chalk card and a little black square there. This one was highly inspired by Monique Baumann. It's folded out, and it was literally just a double page spread from a magazine. So the camera's not big enough, but you can see it elsewhere. So you had this tissue paper trying to experiment with overlaying to get different opacities. Then I taped it at the back. It's a bit haphazard now. The red paint, and then just put some shapes around this lady. Yeah. When I look for people, which I want to use in my work, I don't look for the person, I look for the shapes around the person and what I can, I think it was Rauschenberg who said the artwork begins with the materials, so I thought, what can I do with these materials that I've got? This went wrong here, so I sort of smudged it. But, yeah. I found myself thinking more and more, how can I utilise the material I have, and what can I do with this material, this piece of paper, this collage element. Did this the other day, yesterday night, inspired by Beg for Cred, again another study. Biro oil pastels, first time using the compass, really like that. I did it on my phone originally the night before because I hadn't created anything. I felt bad, so I thought, oh, I better create something. Yeah, I really like that. I find, actually, that the artworks I like the most that day are the artworks that I have made that day. And I find myself liking less the older ones, but I think that's just because I get the buzz from creating something new and experimenting. This is just abstract, probably not finished. I was looking a lot at the sculptures of aliens from an Aris Yeager satirical video. I liked the sculptures, so these are sort of alien Anna Laurani kind of colours, which I also studied her in my sketchbook, which you'll see in a tour if I can be bothered to do one, which I will, because it's a big thing. This is just another one of the last ones you saw. Yeah, really just trying to get something made, because something made is better than nothing made. I think really the only one I'd call sort of successful was this one out of that night. This is a book. I might come back to that, or I might not do it at all. This is again on that really nice paper. Originally I think I did do a face on here, as you can see the sort of black lines showing through the acrylic paint, but then I thought I didn't like it, so I'm going to do this collage piece, which already had a bit cut out, so I thought I'll just glue the page in, charcoal pencil, just acrylic paint around the top, and I called it Black Opal, and then I did a sketch in my sketchbook of another Black Opal abstract piece, and I labelled it in Greek letters, Black Opal 2, because I felt like it. Yeah. Really liking this paper. I like this one a lot. The colours look nice. Is that Zadie Sink from Stranger Things? I don't know. Maybe not finished, because it was just this piece of black for a while, then I put this white in, I put that white in, then I put these bits in. That was an accident, I think. Some abstract collages. Something made's better than nothing made. This one I like. It's supposed to be landscape, but it won't fit on, really. Lovely shapes. This is the start of some accidental, when I got the paper from, it was just in a scrap box, and it had some oil pastel green markings on that really did not work with the colour, but that made it work even more. I love how sugar paper gets really bleached around the edges, or by sun. I like that effect. Another part from my abstract faces series, wet watercolour. That was done on the same day as the first piece. You can see the lines of my knife as I cut through them. Image, and again I wasn't looking at the person, I was just looking at how can I use this image, this space, the composition, you know, because the world is just shapes, so everything is just shapes. I don't know if that sounds sinister, but you know, when I saw this guy I thought, I want to sort of abstract this. I pulled it out, I liked this composition of 3 straight edges, 1 ripped one, compared to the white background, and I thought, what can I do? I can replace an eye with an abstracted eye. Burberry. I like that word. This isn't done. Inspired by another piece that's probably in here, space race type thing. Really cool, quick paint from the tube. Pen, biro probably, I think. Yeah. And yeah, that's a Lamy pen there, which I bled. You can see the nice contrast of the line there, straight line, bleeding, and then all of a sudden it's just dripping. And I put the paint on first, stupidly, maybe not stupidly, and then I was too impatient and I glued it in, and I wasn't going to rub it, so I just, you know, pushed it on, and then all this spilled out from around the edges. Now it's got a really nice feel to it. Another accidental collage. That one's, yeah, it's missing a piece. Yeah, I liked it. This is actually from one of the, I think what happened was I made this first, and then with this bit, and then I turned the page when I cut this out, and I went, oh, the remainder of that image works with the image underneath. Let's do something with that. This is the piece that was inspired by the other one I did just before the last one. Big issue. No, actually, Esquire magazine, I think. Got it for free in a library. The Golden Arches at McDonald's, because I'd watched Founder recently. Tank sticker of a satellite I thought worked. Some silver paint to make a helmet inspired by something I saw at the Tate Modern in the Capturing the Moment exhibit. Can't remember who it's by, but it was next to the Rauschenberg. It wasn't Andy Warhol. Drawing on there, dripping something, oil, maybe. Climate change? No, it's not about climate change. Well, it can be if you want it to be. But I was just having fun with combining all these different things that had connotations of different things of the same things, you know, semantic field, but if it was visual, because I found this sticker, I found this paint, I found this image of the moon sort of type thing, he's sort of hovering here, and I thought those all go together. I don't know why, but they do. Oh, my voice is getting sore from this half-hour video. Yeah, this is the red paper with the bleached edges and the oil pastel scribbles on it by accident, and I really like that as a composition. I think that works on its own. This one, as I said, the pages in magazines that I can get block colour from is the advert pages, and I like this. I like the graphical text. This is another Prada one. So yeah, it's not about Prada. It can be if you want it to be. If any wealthy fashion companies would like to sponsor me, please do. But no, I wasn't intentional. Just I couldn't be bothered to glue around these hole punched holes, so I taped it on, did some stapling because I felt like it. Put this bit on, watercolour pencils in wet, I think. Or actually I dipped the pencil in, and then I sort of scraped it to make this. Probably a combination of all three techniques. This was definitely the watercolour pencil dipped in water, and then, you know, drawn on the page, because you can see how it fades out and I have to restart. If it was just on water, I would have kept going. King, I labelled it because I was looking in front of my Basquiat print of the trumpeter who had a crown on, I think it is. Yeah, and this looked like a crown, so I thought, oh, I'm going to call it King, because Basquiat is the king. Oh god, what was I just saying about fashion companies sponsoring me? Well, this isn't looking very good, is it? Vogue, greed. Nah, this was something I saw on Bake for Cred's website. I really like the graphical type of thing. Yeah, so I just put greed in there. It was either greed or chivalry. I don't know why. Probably because it's Steve Coogan films. This was on the front cover of some of a sketchbook which I used some of the paper on. In fact, this piece was done on that paper, and I just wanted to do something, and I like this graphical background. The more I, you know, try and get away from doing graphic design, the more I find that I like it. But I like how the glue tore away this stuff. Got the black. Don't know what I'm saying, I'm just narrating what's on the page. You can see it for yourself. I like it. Abstract expressionist on a graphical background, found background. I think that's what I called it. Not all the space has to be filled for it to be a worthy image, you know? The white space at the top is just as much a purposeful decision and just as important as the scribbles underneath. This is very Basquiat-esque, I think. I know it's just scribbles and his stuff meant a lot more. But, yeah. In fact, now I'm looking at it, I can see a sort of graffiti-style symmetrical letter type thing here. And I might actually go back over that and make it more enhanced now that I see it. So I'm going to put it to that side with the unfinished stuff. This is another poster of my sort of masks, abstracted faces, celebrity, influencer, reality type thing. And I sort of like the idea of a mind map blocking out everything around this lady except the beauty mirror. Social media, online, comparing ourselves to the perfect pictures of everybody else's lives. That type thing, and you can read the text if you want. Yeah. This I don't think is finished. This may look like it was cut out, but this was actually just glued on. I really like the serrated edge type thing, hole punched, ripped out edge. I think that just was because of the binding in the book. I've had this face for a long time. I think I used the eye for something else to make sort of googly eyes on someone. And then I just put some oil pastels around. trying to make something every day, abstract shapes, cut this up randomly, and then I found this thing that said jigsaw, so I went jigsaw, because it's a jigsaw, you know. Perhaps this could be another part of the fragmentation series. Whenever I get bored, I sort of just go on my computer, upload some Munkin Creator stuff, and make some paint collages, digital typography type things. So, I'm doing that, and this is sort of that in real life. Looking at the 3 different text font type things that I've got here. I like this tear, I like this texture, I like this softness of the oil pastel, I like the colours. That's not done. Now that is a cool piece of paper. I think I was planning something, but didn't go anywhere. This one is definitely not done, but it was definitely inspired, basically a study of, but with my own images of a Beg for Cred artwork. He used asemic writing, he might have done a different star, didn't probably put these pencil bits here, but it's from a Vogue magazine that I bought back in the summer. And it was a double page spread which he'd just cut this sort of shape of the 2 models out, and they were sort of sitting regally like Richard III on his throne or something like that. And I've put "Unto us a star was born." There's a star here, and I was waiting for a picture of a celebrity which I could put, because something I'm interested in is how today we worship not like gods and stuff. Well, we still worship gods and stuff, but we also worship celebrities, so I'm waiting for some celebrities. But you know, there have been a few. There's not been images unless I buy the same Vogue magazine, but I think I might have used. Actually, I've still got the magazine, so I might have to see if I got the images. Why didn't that cross my mind? But yeah, you can see the same sort of star thing as here, because that was the second one I did, but it's still waiting to be finished. And this is something I did years ago, inspired by Eric M. Scott art. Watercolour paper, really nice. House paintbrush, watercolour, star, lightning type thing. There was one I did with this background, and then I watercolour outlined and blended out a picture of a monster, and I drew the monster, and then I put Star Wars laser stickers all over it, and it was really cute and cool. I loved it. So there you go, a whistle-stop tour of what I've been up to. It's always changing, but yeah. You know, I don't know what all the artwork means, but life is too short to worry about what artwork means. As Brian Petro says, you know, I don't know why, but this image and this object and this bottle cap have to go together, and I don't know why, but I'll figure it out later. So, while I struggle with finding meaning in my work, I think, why shouldn't I make what I enjoy making? Is the pleasure not enough of meaning itself? So thanks for watching. I'll keep creating. Bye.